MeUndies here with you one more time. I just wanted to stop in. Today's a big one for me. I feel like this is something that's been year in the works for me, multiple years in the works for me, multiple gifts in the works for me, and I feel like it's something that affects guys day to day that I feel like we don't talk about enough. We leave it to the side. We don't bother. It's not worth spending extra on. So I wanted to go over the past few years and find the perfect boxer for me. I feel like I'm a decent example build-wise on someone who's hard on boxers, who works hard on boxers. I'm a bigger guy. I'm blessed or cursed with bigger legs, so I do get a bit of a rub. So it tends to wear down boxers, and I just wanted to be completely candid with you guys and give you an idea. When I go to my boxer drawer, the other day I looked in and I thought, you know what? I want to make sure I let everybody know my experience with boxer briefs, boxer shorts over the past few years, and give people a solid idea what's worth it, because we're getting to the point where there's some seriously premium solid underwear. You got some of them right here, Tommy John, MeUndies, SAXX Boxers, where they have all these gimmicks, all these shticks, all these pitches. You're hearing them on podcasts. Dax Shepard is always talking about MeUndies. You've got Howard Stern's always talking about Tommy John. That's all you hear about. So I wanted to take a look at all of these over the past little while. I wasn't considering doing a video on them, but just yesterday when I popped open my drawer and I went to grab the boxers, I always have specific boxers. I know we all do, guy or girl. I'm sure you have your favorite undergarments that you like to wear. As soon as you open the drawer, if they're there and they're clean, you're wearing them. So I thought to myself, you know what? I've spent a lot of money on boxers trying to find the right ones. I've bought the premium ones, not the super premium, but like pretty solid pair of boxers that aren't just your Walmart off the shelf, and I wanted to do a comparison for you guys. So here we go, the official guy reviews, taking care of what's underneath, boxer review. So I'm going to start out by saying basically these boxers range anywhere from, you know, probably $25-$30 to $50 a pair. It's harder for Canadians, unfortunately, because Tommy John and other places like that, shipping gets a little bit weird and muddled, but I've received some lovely gifts of these Tommy Johns from my wife multiple times. So I just wanted to go over these with you guys and let you know what to expect when you're getting a boxer. So basically, I'm going to start with SAXX Boxers. SAXX is probably the easiest for us to get a hold of here in Canada. Out of all of these, no shipping, no weird stuff. They talk about having room. They call it the ballpark pouch, and it has a interior actual piece of fabric that you can see right here that helps keep things, let's say, separated. Things will be kept separated for you by this ballpark pouch, and it will keep things from rubbing on your thighs. That being said, I feel like it is functional. It is comfortable. I do find that the length of these do tend to ride up. They can say whatever they want about not riding up, but they do ride up a bit. They are a kind of brief length, these guys on here. They're like a micro modal. Obviously, when you're going through any of these boxers, they have a whole bunch of different builds. They have cotton blends, and they have micro modal, and they have, you name it, polyester, spandex. I've seen it all. And so these ones are more of a micro modal blend. They also, when you're looking in them, they have different price tiers. There's some kinetic versions that are for fitness and that kind of stuff, all the way to like your premium platinum version is for the SAXX here. I would say if you're going to go the SAXX route, they're pretty reasonable, but you'll notice that this one here I've had probably a year and a bit. It does have a tear. This is just from pulling up through, and the trusty inner thigh tear in the crotch region. Can't get around that. It's torn. I don't wear these anymore. I kept them because I thought, you know what, they're too much money to throw out, but they sit in the back now because they're not exactly comfortable anymore. Their waistband is very solid. You'll notice it's nice and thick. So they say it's not going to roll on you. A lot of these companies do say that this will roll if you got a little extra weight like I do. The stomach will cause it to bend and roll, but it's honestly quite comfortable. It's very elastic, a great feel to it, and it fits as I expected it would fit. So SAXX, definitely pretty solid. MeUndies, I actually bought these a while back, probably a good 2 or 3 years ago now, and I got to give MeUndies credit. Pricing, they're not the worst at all, especially if you get promo codes or whatever. I don't have any promo codes for any of this. I bought all of it over the years. But I will say the MeUndies is solid. There they are there, the MeUndies. They've held up really, really well. They don't ride up too bad. You'll see a little bit of fraying around the bottom side here, like a little bit of hanger fraying. But honestly, Very, very solid pair of underwear. This is like a mixed blend. It's, I think I got some micromodal in this one. You see a couple stitches come out here and there. This is around the thigh area. But nothing where anything's tearing or pulling too seriously. There's absolutely no rip in the crotch at all. Nothing. It's held up super, super well. See, you got a little bit of strand there, but no actual tearing. Not even any wearing. As far as the region to take care of your guys, it's got a cutout kind of that'll give you a little bit of comfortability. It doesn't have the full side portion like you've experienced with SAXX, but I would say it holds pretty well. Gives you that comfortability and that support that you're looking for there. And your similar price point to the SAXX. So what I would say for the SAXX, though, in my experience, I've tried the kinetic ones, I've tried the platinum, I've tried the you name it, the cotton kind of base ones. I know they're a lot more expensive than the base, but go to platinum. They will hold up as well as any of the others, if not a little bit better. And they just seem to last longer. I have another pair of platinum with the SAXX right here. This is the mustache was the special edition for I believe Father's Day, if I'm not mistaken. It could be wrong, could be something for prostate health. But these guys here have held up super well. So you'll notice again the side mesh to take care of the boys, separate everything out. This one is not torn at all. There's no tears. There's like pilling a little bit, but no tears. None of the stitches have come out through the thighs. It's held up very, very well. So I would say those are the platinum version. Unfortunately, the special edition didn't do so well, but those platinum ones I've had for well over a year, and they've held up incredibly well. So strongly recommend those guys there. And again, the MeUndies, they have different versions as well. I just have this one pair. It's done super well for me. The wear and tear of every day, the rubbing, no issue at all. So I do definitely suggest MeUndies as well. Tommy John. So I have a love-hate relationship with Tommy John. They've got the pouch that pops open, quick draw fly, I think they call it, inside here. You got your little opening through the back, and then it leads to the opening in the front. There you are. Hello. So the Tommy Johns themselves, you'll notice these ones are a little bit longer. They're very soft. So my go-to for the Tommy Johns, I have a couple pairs of them, so you know I'm not just BSing you. I wanted them several times. I asked for them as gifts because they're so soft. They have different versions as well. This is more like a cotton style. This is more like a mix of the micro modal, kind of extra soft premium version of the two. That being said, they were my go-to. I would grab them if they were the top of my drawer. If they're anywhere in my drawer and clean, I would wear them. That being said, things have changed over the years. I lost a little bit of weight, then I gained the weight back like a lot of us do. In that whole time, I did find that these can tend to run up. I feel like if you have thinner legs, these would probably be so comfortable for you. The problem I find is with the length and things, I have this thing where if you get the boxer brief length, they ride up really bad up in your kind of like crotch area. If you get these ones, they still ride up, but there's so much bunching up. It's almost less pinch-like than a boxer brief, but it really kind of bunches up. And it's not supposed to, I know. They don't roll, they don't bunch up. The waistband is quite nice in them. It still rolls. It's definitely, they all roll. I've never seen a waistband that doesn't roll. It doesn't matter what they say. I don't care. If you have a belly on you, it's gonna roll. It's just the way it is. But that being said, these ones, they just didn't hold up. Neither one of them. So I just find it really hard to justify. Tommy John is one of the most expensive ones out of the whole set here. And it just does not stack up for durability. I don't know. I think maybe a few months. I don't care. Like for me, I didn't look into any warranties or anything. I don't care. I feel like at the end of the day, you guys know how I feel about warranties. I'm probably not going to do them. Probably not going to bother sending it away. Blah, blah, blah. It's not happening. So I'm just going to be real with you. Yeah, this was a few months. There's the crotch completely torn out. Like literally central. There's no way that that's recoverable. It's not like a thigh tear or something where you're like, no, that's still good. I can still wear those. Nothing around the edge. As you can see, that held up okay. But you can also see they're quite thin, right? And it's good because they're so soft, but that just does not bode well. For especially you're looking at, $40, $50 a pair Canada-wise. And there is the other. There's the more cotton blend. Boom. Unfortunately, I loved them. They were solid for me. Nothing around the waistband. That held up well again. But right out the crotch. There it goes. Take care. There's not supposed to be a hole there. So that's the Tommy John. So out of those three, I would say, honestly, for durability, MeUndies probably tip top. Out of this pile, I would probably grab the SAXX first, the Platinum Blend SAXX. They've held up very well. But if you're going to spend a lot of money and you're worried about them lasting, I would say MeUndies so far the winner. MeUndies does have a little thinner waistband, though. It does feel a little bit cheaper in the waistband than the quality waistbands of the Tommy Johns and the SAXX. But if you want durability so far, I would say SAXX or the MeUndies. If you want overall comfortability and a bit of durability in there, I would go with the MeUndies, or flip that. Next up, I grabbed these in the States when I was down shopping, just through Target, nothing crazy. Pair of Thieves. So, not a bad pair of boxers. I did find them to be a little bit short. They are just kind of a cotton style. That's obviously the big thing. You see all these different blends and all this. What is it made of? What's the softest? Especially if you're ordering online or whatever. And it's not like you're going to go try on a bunch of boxers at the store. So, what is the softest? In my experience, if you can find something micromodal, go that route. Whether it is the MeUndies or the SAXX or the Tommy Johns. Depending on the brand, it seems to be for the toughness and whether they're going to hold up. The micromodal doesn't seem to hold up quite as well as like cottons and stuff like that. But that being said, it is still insanely comfortable compared to cotton. These have held up pretty well. You're starting to see some splitting here, right? This is on the lower thigh. And that's again because the bunch and then the rub is what's happening there. Again, kind of like, I don't know stateside wise what brand this, if it's decent at all. It doesn't seem like anything crazy. They were pretty cheap, probably 10 bucks or whatever. That being said, we'll jump into the ultimate cheapie. You guys may have seen these around. This is just like a basic Athletic Works style from your Walmart. Literally as cheap as it gets. I will say, after experiencing some of the other options out there in the underwear market, I'm not wearing these. I bought probably a 5-pack, I think it was, maybe 6-7 months ago, just being like, yeah, you know what, I've been wearing more premium style boxers for a while, let's give them a shot. Maybe I'm crazy. They're terrible. They hurt, they dig into the thighs, they ride up, they're uncomfortable, they don't do anything to support anything. They're out. Old Navy, seen as, slightly better than a Walmart brand. I would say not super expensive at all. Cotton base. They do hold up well. They have a really good thickness to them. No tears or anything. Slightly more comfortable. The waistband's a little more comfortable than Walmart style. And then the thighs. This stitching here on the Walmart is what really hurts, I find. It's quite a bit smoother on the Old Navy, but absolutely do not stand up to the more premium underwear brands at all. Not even close. Next up, we got like your RBX style, like Reebok sort of style, more sport style underwear. They're the thinner kind of polyester, I don't know, like your running pants kind of. They're pretty comfortable. They hold up well. You'll notice a nice thick waistband. They've been used for a long time and they haven't torn or ripped anywhere. So, I mean, this style depends. You'll notice like the meshing through the front for breathability, which works great. But that being said, I feel like it's not super comfortable. So if you're using this for sporting or something like that, these brands are decent for that. It holds up okay. They're long enough where they're not so annoying for riding up. This is all soft thread. It's pretty reasonable. So the Reeboks, they hold up pretty well. For your day-to-day, I don't know that they're that comfortable. And if you're in a hot climate or it's hot, although they're breathable, I feel like there's no wicking really. It doesn't seem like, especially through this region, because it's just more of the mesh as opposed to this does wick a bit. This does not wick all that well. And I know it's because breathability, but if you're going for a run, they're great. I wouldn't use them as a day-to-day at all. Now, here's two that I've recently jumped into in the last few months with all of my go-tos, except for like two, starting to tear in the crotch region, tear in the thigh region, tear in the waistband region. I thought, you know what, it's time. I got to figure something else out. But also, I don't feel like spending $50 a pair. So that takes us to Amazon. Of course, you go through Amazon, you troll through there, see what you can find. I wanted to let you guys know, these guys here, I think I got like a 3-pack of each for 50 or 60. So they're not cheap, but they're also not 40, 50 bucks a pair. So I figured, you know what, I'll try them. If they work, great. If they don't, well, they'll just go into the pile and I'll pick them last before the Walmart brand and before Old Navy. I picked up these guys here. I don't know how to say them. Ejis? I don't know. But they are a mixed fabric, like kind of like that micromodal feel. Again, if you stretch them, you can kind of see that they go kind of see-through. And as far as the crotch area, well cushioned. It does have like a bit of a, not like the ballpark pouch where it's a setup where it actually comes out, but it does have an opening here. No ripping or tearing. They've held up incredibly well. The support is really solid in the front. Like you do have some room there for that support. No peeling or stitching issues. I honestly am super impressed with this pair of boxers. It's probably, I would probably still, if I'm walking up to the drawer, still grab the Platinum SAXX first out of the everything so far. The Tommy Johns again and the MeUndies are there. I find the MeUndies just aren't at this level of comfort or this level of comfort. But they are a good standby because I know I don't have to worry about rips and tears. That being said, these guys absolutely worth the buy. It's, again, none of this is sponsored. This is just what I want to grab when I walk up to my underwear drawer. These guys here are so comfortable. They're soft. They're thick enough where they wick, but they're thin enough where you're getting breathability. You have support through the crotch area. They're really solid boxers. They're really comfortable. The waistband is nice and deep, as you can see, which gives you good support. It rolls, of course. They all roll, but it does have good flexibility in it. It fits as expected. Very, very, very comfortable boxers for the money. The last but not least is this company here. It was the other 3-pack or whatever I bought from Amazon, similar pricing. It is called, right here, Separatec. Separatec. This boxer is the one I grabbed first. It beats out every single other boxer here. It has the weirdest gimmick I've probably ever seen in a boxer, and that's through all of these with the ballpark and the, you know, quick draw fly and all of the above. These guys here are the most comfortable boxers I've probably ever worn. They've held up well. They haven't torn. They're very soft. Again, thick enough to wick. There's almost like this lined ribbing in them. You can kind of see. It's not a ribbing, but it like there's like kind of the lines you guys can see there. They're thin. And now the gimmick. I don't know that the gimmick is really necessary, but I mean, it helps keep things cool and separated, I guess. So Separatec, why do they call it Separatec? Well, let's take a little look if we turn this puppy inside out. This, you can probably guess what goes there. Yeah, so no quick draw fly, no ballpark pouch, but full-on something separator inside. If you go to the front of that, you can't see it. But underneath, there's like a little pull thing, and it leads to the hole thing. So you pull this, and you got the hole there. It's weird. I saw the pictures on Amazon, and I was like, that's very strange. I don't know how I'm gonna like that because every other brand seems to focus on the ballpark pouch. This brand decided to go a little north of that. And it's pretty solid, honestly. It's like a weird feeling for a bit, but it's comfortable. I'm really glad they used like a shielding that's like super soft on the front as well. They didn't put some weirder flap or different material like kind of the Reebok ones had that mesh. They've done the same. It's the same material that covers the front of your, and they're super comfortable. The waistband, you can kind of see the sheen to it. It's almost like a softer style waistband. The inside is kind of like your regular style cloth. But for the money, these haven't worn off. If they're in my drawer, I wear them first every single time. I know I have a few pairs of them, but they win. They just win for the money. I feel like if you had unlimited budget, I mean, probably you could just keep replacing Tommy Johns left, right, and center. Maybe I would go like just a whole row of like the SAXX Platinum. Those would probably be the top two for just raw comfort, not caring about durability if you had unlimited budget. But when it comes to budget for what you get, somehow these guys win. I don't know. Micromodal wins as far as comfortability, not always durability. This seems to have a combination, and it's super comfortable. So again, I would say out of the whole entire shootout here, bottom of the line, Walmart. They weren't comfortable. They ride up. The stitching in here, insanely itchy. They're out. Next. Old Navy. Meh. They're okay. They're not great. This is much softer than the Walmart brand, but still not super comfortable. Nothing going on to guard your stuff against anything. The Reeboks, they're okay. They do their job. If you're using them specifically for running, obviously this is a more running style short. They're great for that. Day to day, not the best. They are not wicking enough in the actual crotch region. This is giving you air, but if you're wearing jeans or something, there's not a lot of air coming through, so it doesn't feel great. Next up, I would say we would get to a pair of Thieves. They're, you know, better than your traditional Walmart brand. They're comfortable. I enjoyed them. They ride up a little bit. They tear a little bit, as you can see through the thigh. Next up, I would say we would be rolling into probably the Tommy Johns. Now, I will say this, obviously, the Tommy Johns are insanely comfortable. Very, very comfortable. If you want raw comfort, they're very solid. They're a great choice, but they're super expensive, at least in Canada. And for what you get, every single pair I've ever had just tore out right at the crotch. It just happened. Obviously, if you're a thinner guy or have thinner legs, you're not going to have that issue. But I am not so lucky for that. Here's the other pair of Tommy Johns. Again, insanely comfortable. So comfortable. These are the second skin option, which is like supposed to be extra soft, and they are definitely extra soft. Probably one of the softest materials out of everything here. But again, torn in almost, you know, in under a year for sure. No dice. Next up, I'm going to say MeUndies. There's your MeUndies there. MeUndies, very comfortable, holds up really well. Not quite as comfortable as some of them, but still very soft. The threading's very soft, very breathable, still wicking. They do ride up a little bit, but overall, very solid pair of boxers for the money. SAXX, I love them. I love them. I am hesitant a little bit because of the durability side, but they're not as expensive here as some of the other ones. Like Tommy John is by far way more expensive. However, I will say with the SAXX, you do want to be splurging a little bit. You want to go to the platinum. They seem to hold up the best. They are the softest. They're the most comfortable. They do carry, obviously, their patented ballpark pouch, as we talked about, with the little flaps over on the sides here. It does a good job separating. I got to give it credit. It does do a really good job. If you do any kind of manscaping or anything, it is kind of nice as well. As far as chafing, you're good. Protection. So SAXX comes in. I would say these Ejis, they're similar to the SAXX. They're not amazing. They're very comfortable though. They're very soft. There's no standout feature where you're like, wow, that blows me away. I would say they're right on par, but you're cheaper. So if you're looking for some really comfortable underwear for budget, boom. Ejis. Last but not least, Separatec. Most random choice of all. Most random gimmick of all. Like, what? What this doesn't guard your ballpark sack. It guards something else. But I don't know. It works. They're comfortable. They're so comfortable. The price is right. They're durable thus far. I've had them for probably over a year now and wear them as almost my daily driver. I have 3 pairs, and if they're clean, I'm wearing them. They're the go-to grab off the top. So I know this is a longer video, guys. I just feel like I really wanted to get this out there because to spend $40, $50, $60 on a pair of boxers that isn't going to last is crazy to me. So I hope this helps a little bit. I hope this helps the guys out there. Just a point of note, guys, if you are buying Walmart boxers, do not buy Walmart boxers. Like, get a decent pair of boxers. It's so important. They're right against your skin, and it's an area that wants to get taken care of. Like, please do it for yourself. I bought them for far too long, and since I've been getting into these kind of stuff, it's just such a better day. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon.